Oh, there we go. We are live. Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Rochelle, Rockstar Shell. I am bringing in another friend. You're going to meet Cameron here in a minute. You guys know it's the real deal here. And I'm just sharing with you guys just my journey in life, right? So I'm so blessed that I'm able to share my story, but not only that, but bring in other people. Who are also in this journey with me. So you guys know when you come on in, comment where you're chiming in from, either on Facebook or on YouTube. And always, oh shucks, no. Okay, see, this is what happens when we go on a phone. Somebody texted me.
Oh no.
I know. Like this is live, guys. Like I'm about to go into work, and you guys know I'm to do the nursing gig. And then I'm going to do this really quick because I want to show you guys that this is possible, right? And also chat with Cameron here. Okay, so I like doing these lives with these women because you guys know my story, right? And if you don't, just scroll my page and like 2024 was a hard year. It was like that the line in the sand kind of moment. My mom passed. She had liver failure, and I was like, okay, what can I do to own my health more? How can I take control of my health? Yes, as a nurse, I know it all, but did I really take those actions? Not all the time, right? And so this business opportunity came across first to fill myself up with like goodness and longevity, and then it just the community here, it's stuck in like the mindset and the abundance. It's infectious, and that's how I met my beautiful friend Cameron. She's actually on the East Coast, and I when I first came in, I teased. I was like, okay, Cameron, you get the East Coast, and then I get the West Coast. But I'm like, why would we limit ourselves to just a coast? Like let's just grow, girl. So, enough about me. Let me talk. Let's Cameron. Let's hear from her.
Oh, amazing. Well, I'm so happy to be here with you, Rockstar. Yeah, I actually met Rockstar through a community, a women's coaching community that we were a part of a few years ago. And I just always, it's funny because I always think you're like so cool and hip and like trendy and you do your YouTube stuff. But then like we meet in real life and I'm like, oh, well, real life on the internet. Soon we'll be in real life. But I'm
Mhm.
like we really have so many similarities because you are also a working professional and a mom. And, it's just funny how on the internet we do this. Like we have this like facade of people that we see and like we create this like image and story in our mind of who they are. And then we meet them and they're like, oh, they're like so human and like real, just like me, like real life. So I don't know. I do that. I'm sure everybody kind of does that with people they see online. But yeah, who am I? I live in Florida, and I am a mom and a wife, and we live here on 3 acres. We have a little hobby farm with goats and donkeys and chickens. My background is actually in aesthetics. I owned a medical and day spa for 13 years. I actually became an entrepreneur at 19 years old, started my first little business. It was a little tiny spa, and then grew that up into a big, amazing business of the year in our community. And then in 2016, I got introduced to a supplement. I started using a supplement for energy and fat loss. Loved it, had a great transformation. Everybody was asking. Naturally, I also wanted to share it with my clients. And so that's what I did. And so that really opened me up into the world of online business. I always say I kind
Mhm.
of fell into it. I never in a million years saw that coming. It was you too, right? Like you're a
Yeah.
nurse, you're an RN, how many years have you been a nurse, by the way?
19, but I've been in the online space for like 10 years, and I
Wow.
stumbled onto YouTube. Like I was just like, how can I be online and work at the same time? And I'm like, I'll
Yeah.
just post a video.
I mean, that's it. That's so funny. So we literally have like a very similar timeline of like when we started our professional career and then when we kind of ventured into the online world. And so yeah, that's kind of where I came in 2016, and then just about at like the 8 year mark, just at the end of 2023. I would say, I know you mentioned 2024 was like a pivotal year for you. Mine was 2023. A lot of changes within my company. I started feeling like, oh, I don't know about this. Like, I'm not really on board with all of this. And my paycheck started declining. And I was like, oh, crap. Like, I literally built a whole life around what this business, has afforded me and what I've done here. And so that's when I just like knew I had to make a change. But I also knew that I wasn't willing. I didn't want to go back to like full blown like work or brick
Yeah.
and mortar business owner. I love being able to have a business online. It is like everything to me. Just the freedom that it offers, the uncapped potential, you know, the people that we get to meet. Like there's so many things I love about it. And so like the same week that I resigned from my business that I was in for 8 years, Joe came to me, who is our mutual friend and mentor. And she was just like, hey, you know, she's like, I want to show you something. She had no idea I had just resigned from my company. She was like, I want to show you something. You know, I'm going to do this business. It's high ticket. And I took a look at it and absolutely was like blown away by everything I saw. I was like, this makes so much sense. You know, I feel like for anybody who's done kind of the low ticket thing, and I have a ton of friends that do that, they sell makeup or leggings or,
me too.
you know, whatever. Like there's so many amazing like hobby businesses out there that people do. But I think for some of us, what happens is we get into that space and we're like, oh, this is cool. Like I like this little online business thing. And then we have this big, huge goal behind it because that's, you know, we're entrepreneurial women. So we're like, well, if I'm going to do this, like I want to make good money. I want to make more than a couple $100s a month. And it now, as we know, you know, there's a lot that comes with that when you're dealing with that low ticket model. And that's why for me, this made so much more sense because I value my time more than anything. I have kids that are out of the house now. And I always say like that will make you look at your time amongst many other things that happen in life. Like there's things that happen that make us really evaluate our time and say, is this time that I'm spending, am I squeezing the most out of it? And so this really made a lot of sense for me as far as the time that I'm putting in and what I'm able to get back from it.
You know, I find again, we just met right online, and our stories and our community just aligned in so much because I had the same thing. Like 2023, I was feeling things with my company, but it was comfortable. I stayed. My mom's health was declining, so not only was I a nurse, but also I was caregiving her outside of work, and I was just diving into so many like other low ticket things. I was doing jewelry, bags. I was just like, just because um, I can control that. I couldn't
Right.
control what I didn't know that at the time, but I couldn't control my mom's health. And so
Right.
I dove into what I can control, and that's how to make money. And it literally burned me out. And and
Mhm.
then like as my mom started to decline, the same thing happened to me. I was just like, time is too precious. Like here I am spinning my wheels month after month, trying to hit goals, trying to hit quotas, trying to reach out to too many people, and then all of a sudden start zero on the first, and I was just like,
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
getting paid like for my time and my value. And I think again, something that we have in common, like we just wanted more, and it
Yes.
wasn't just like more money, but like more quality of life. You know,
Yes.
like it just like you said, with yours was 2023, mine was 2024, and it was just like I don't want to keep doing the hamster wheel. I want I want to live what I preach, in a sense, because we were all striving for that freedom of lifestyle, freedom of time and flexibility. And literally, I was just like, I'm ashamed to say, but like, I wasn't, I was struggling. Like,
Most people
yeah,
aren't though. That's the thing. It's like most
yeah,
people aren't that are preaching it and selling the dream. You know,
right.
I was talking to somebody about it. I can't even remember like how or where it came up, but we're like, you know, you're sold this dream and that's what it is. It's like, oh, this freedom lifestyle and like all of these things. And then you get into it and you're living it and you're like, wait a minute, like this isn't actually lining up. And, you know, I look at people that and I'm sure you can too. Like we look at people that have been in the online space in network,
Mm-hmm.
particularly low ticket, you know, supplements, things like that. And they've been in it for 10 plus years and they're still in this same hustle cycle. And it's
Right,
like, that's not the dream. And that's what
right.
I love about this and this model and how it is set up so smart. Because as we know previously in our companies, it's like if we even started to take our foot off of the gas,
Mm-hmm.
everything just
Yes.
tanked. Like there
Yeah.
was no, and to be honest, there was not an end in sight of when you could actually do that. It's just like
Right.
you have to keep hustling and you have to keep creating new ways to get people interested and do all of these things to like
Yeah.
keep the ship afloat. Yeah. And it's like I love that
Same.
here. It's like we look at the people that have been doing this and we're like, they have truly created the life of their dreams. And
Right.
they're able to actually have people that support them in their business and in their life. And so that they have truly created a dream life. They're
Right.
not over here like burned out and broke. And that's another thing, there's so many people that had really great financial success, the top leaders that were in my company, and now where they're at is not a good place at all.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that here there's so much financial literacy about how to
Yes.
not only create, a foundation of, a good financial structure, but also how to do this long term.
Right.
Like,
And
I was just in Australia and we had
I know.
one of the events. I know it was amazing. I can't wait to see you in
Yeah.
Bali in November.
Bali, Bali,
Yeah,
Bali,
well,
Bali.
California in June, but then Bali in
Yes.
November. We
Yes.
were like, dang. But one of the as part of like there was like a 1 day event with like all these different speakers, and one of the speakers was actually his talk was mostly about financial literacy and
Yes.
investment and how to take your money that you're earning here and put it into real estate and things like this. And it's like that's unheard of. There's so many things that are so taboo in that other
Mm-hmm.
world, even when it comes to like paid marketing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
ads, running ads. I'm like, that was so taboo in my last, space, because for one, you weren't making enough commissions to actually
Right.
run paid ads. But so many people come, want to do what we do here. And they're like, oh, I don't know, like, who do I sell to? How do I do this? How do I? And it's like, okay, what if you could use paid ads and reach the people directly that you want to reach and talk to and
Yeah.
alleviate some of the pressure? I just think there's so many things here that make so much more sense. And it's such a place of just abundance and
Yes.
just really
No.
truly working smart.
Right. No, and like what you said resonated with me. Like, you know, at that time in 2024, when I took my foot off the pedal, because
Yeah.
literally I was in the hospital caring for my mom, I was just like my sales were dropping, and I was just like, this is like not fair. Like, I'm not
Mm.
going to choose my time with my mom versus making content or like doing my connected contacts. I was just like, there has to be something better. But so, like, yeah, here, this business model, I love it. It's just like building. I tell people it's kind of like, real estate. You come on in and you just keep building until you're ready to enjoy your house, or you're ready to like will it to your kids. And it's not something that I have to constantly keep going and going. Hey, Lori, how are you? I got so many people on YouTube. Kay, how are you? Denise, how are you, friends? But it was just like, it's just so abundant. Like, here I'm getting trainings from, like, how do we use our money,
Yeah.
mindset, like what are our blocks. It's not like like what do you have to block to understand money. Like, it's like there's just so much. It's like therapy in a sense.
Yeah.
Like,
It is. It's
Lord.
there. Yeah. So much just growth and healing and just so many things that come through it other than like, oh, hey, I'm building this business. There's so much
Yeah,
consciousness here. Even like
that's my
AI,
brother. Right.
AI is here, whether we like it or not. I know it's a little scary for a lot of people, just kind of adopting this whole concept of like, robots taking over the world. No,
Yeah.
but, we had a training today about AI, and it's like, I I understand the concern people have, but I'm like I said, regardless, it's here. So we're better off learning how to use it and how to work together with it than like
Hmm.
sit back and fear it. Because the reality is AI is going to replace a lot of different jobs and
Right.
things. And I just feel like we're getting to like stay on that cusp of like constant growth and like
Right.
really growing with all of the things that are happening as we go. And just yeah, it's pretty
All right.
exciting.
Okay, Cameron. So, I know you've been in this business model as long I have. I'm still like, I feel like I'm still a newbie, but what would you tell the Cameron of 2023? like, or those who are sitting on the fence or have been watching and you're like, okay, what what is it? Like, what's some advice, some tips, or just like, what would you tell her?
Goodness. Well, would say to the Cameron of 2023 that was sitting there, like literally watching the ship go down and seeing all these changes happening, is like, hey, it's going to be okay. There's something else out there that will allow you to build what you want and create the dream that you started all of this for. And it's going to just be in such better alignment with what you're really looking for. So that was something that, yeah, like just picturing myself like sitting in my office, just looking out the window, just like, oh my gosh, like what is happening here? Just to know that like everything is going to be okay. And then too, just to the person sitting on the fence, I think it's really about, I think the biggest thing that holds people back is just the fear of like, can I do this? I don't know how to do this. I don't know, I don't even know where to begin. You just have to start first of all, because that fear will keep you stuck. That's what it's designed to do. And so you get to past that. And when you have something so solid as this company, as this model, this same exact compensation model that's been operating and flourishing for 35 years, right? Like, and you have good mentorship and you have people like Rochelle in your corner, it would be so hard for you to fail. The only way you would fail is if you quit, right? So I think you just have to like show up for yourself and then just get to grow through that and learn. And know that like we all started this brand new. Even though you and I have been in online business for 10 years, this was still brand spanking new to us. Brand new. And I have more people that have joined me here in business who have never done anything like this before. They've never done online business. Like they don't know they didn't know how to create reels. They didn't know how to, but they're like, if not now, when? And if not this, what? Like, I'm just going to go in. And when you have the solidity of the company and such a no-brainer product, like you don't have to convince people. It's not going to change next week. Like it just checks all the boxes. Right. So if you feel like you need more and something is, where you're at right now is not doing it for you, don't stay stuck. You likely have just outgrown that environment and you're waiting to just step into your next future self and that next chapter.
Oh gosh, I got goosebumps because I could so relate to that. I was just like, I want more. I'm like, this can't be it. I hit the ceiling on my last company, or just in that season, the last company served me. I learned, but I was like, I'm meant for more. I was like, God gave me these gifts for a reason. I was just like, I can't just to be doing this. But one thing I wanted to add to that is that we are in such a community that there's so many successful people that they literally just tell us what to do. Like there are blueprints. In fact, they're like more than one blueprint. So it's just like when you get on a strategy call with me or a camera, it's just like, okay, what do you want to do? Like, what do you like? Which path aligns with you? Oh, okay, this one. This is what you got to do, and that's the thing. You just have to show up, and all of these paths, it's like proven success because the old me, I was doing all the things, and when I came into this space, I was like, where has this been all my life? I was like, I was the leader, I was a content creator, I was the customer service. I was just like, no, not here. It's just like, it's like, hey, Cameron, I gotta do overtime. Can you just pick up this one call with this gal? She's super interested, but she knows that I have to step away because I have an emergency. And Cameron would be like, sure, what's her name? Right. And you know that I would do the same for you too. So
yeah, I think that's huge. And I just want to mention that, like, on that note, for anybody who has been in that position of maybe leading a team or having people like, again, in that low ticket space, 100% same for me. I used to like wear all the hats. And even if you're just not just, but even if you're a brick and mortar business owner, like probably relate to wearing all the hats, figuring out the marketing, the scheduling, the this, we got to plan this, we got to do this, we're going to have an open house, we're going to do a realtor, like whatever you are, you can probably relate to that. And that's one of the biggest things here, like knowing that I could just come into this and actually just wear the hats that I'm really good at wearing and
Yes.
that really work for me and that fit me well. And then all of those other things are actually done for us because we do have amazing leaders and mentors here, and they have a whole team that supports us as well. And that is just,
Yes.
that's priceless.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
us to be able to actually do the things that we love and we're good at and actually connect with people. That's just it's absolutely
It
priceless.
is. And like my thing is like I don't want to leave my 9 to 5. Like I love nursing. Like
Right.
I just but I want to serve people more, and like so I have this business online, and it's just cherry on the top. It gives me the freedom, the flexibility, and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
I get to choose my schedule and not feel like I have to like clock in, and
Yeah. Clock
so
in and pick up overtime constantly.
right.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
No, no.
So good.
All right, friends.
So
Well, thank you guys so much for chit chatting with us. I hope you joined the chat. You're going to be seeing more of this. I'm going to bring more friends. Right? Oh gosh, it does this every time. I think this is like I always say. I think this is my mom. She's like, "All right, Rochelle, shut up. You got to go to work."
right.
Like at the end of the other one, like I turn.
Yeah.
Anyways, so let's just do this. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Drop info. Drop the hearts and the emojis. Tag a friend if this is something that they need to hear, they need to see. Because Cameron and I, we're just real people. Living our dreams, and we're here to show that it doesn't have to be fancy. It's just like we're literally happy people, and we just want this for other people. The more,
Yes.
the better. Yes. All right.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you
Cam.
for
Have a
having me.
beautiful day.
You too.
Take care. Oh, my chapstick.